Hey everybody, Opinionated Cheapskate here. Today on the table for review, we're going to talk about this new offering from Black Diamond called the Moji, M-O-J-I. I'm sure that means something in Japanese, but I don't know what it is, so I'm afraid I can't tell you. It is, however, a nice little lantern. I just picked this up a few days ago. It hasn't seen a lot of use on the trail yet, but I thought I would get this out there because I was trying to look for reviews on this when I was thinking about whether I was going to buy it and really didn't find very much, and so hopefully this will let folks who are seriously thinking about this to have a little more information to make a more informed choice. Let's start with some specs. I weighed this with the batteries in it. Weighs 120 grams, which in comparison to the Black Diamond Orbit, the older design, 130 grams. So this is a little, although it seems a little chunkier and bigger, it actually weighs 10 grams less than the Orbit. Also, unlike the Orbit, it's Ipx4 Waterproof, and so that means it's sort of light rain, stuff like that. If you left this out overnight and it got all kinds of dew on it, it wouldn't be a big deal. This, on the other hand, is not waterproof, so you got to be a little more careful with this. It's got to go on a waterproof sack in adverse conditions and so forth. Brightness levels, this gets considerably brighter than this. On high, this is 100 lumens. It's an adjustable brightness. It dims itself down to 4 lumens. On this low 4 lumen setting, it will last 100 hours according to the manufacturer, and on high it will run 10 hours. This, on the other hand, I don't know the exact numbers. I did another video with a more extended review of this. I think it's something like 45 lumens on high, so this is considerably less bright than this on high. Interestingly, on low, you actually can, it's not ideal, but you could read from this light. You'd have to hold it fairly close to the book, but in fact, I took this into the dark room and gave it the light test, the reading test. You can actually read comfortably as long as this is, a foot away from the book or so. Which is different than this, which really needs to be up closer to its high setting in order to be bright enough to read by. So, a lot of features that the new guy has, and some improvements over this existing lantern. But like every product, it's not perfect. Here are a few little downsides. Take this for what it's worth. First of all, the switch here is exposed. Over here, it's covered until you open this up. This is a better design because it's less likely to be accidentally triggered in your pack. This also not so great. This design, I think, is better for putting out if you're cooking or working on the campsite. This is a little bit more flexible design because it can be useful when it's just sitting on a rock or nearby while you're cooking. This really is, I suppose you can turn it upside down and let's crank up the light, make it even at least. It sits like this in this sort of little glowing globe, but it's sort of a harsh thing to look at, and it's the light sort of just mostly getting shot out in directions that's not useful. So this really is meant to be a hanging lamp, and that's its best use. So think about that versus the other. Both of these, I didn't mention this earlier, both of these have this excellent design, which Black Diamond I think is the only people who make this. I don't know. Other people should if they don't, if it's not patented. This split clip allows you to hang this very easily from the little loop at the top of your tent. You slip the tent loop in like this, and then you just flip this other thing up and enclose and lock it in place. And so now this thing is hanging very easily from the top of your tent. Very easy to use that way. Does have a memory, which is nice, which apparently only lasts for 12 hours. So if you notice, this is on high. It's not always. Let's turn it down to low. Click it off, and now the next time you turn it on, it's on that whatever the last setting is. That's actually good for the issue of it accidentally getting turned on. So in the morning, if I'm going to use this before I throw this into my pack, what I'm going to do is make sure that I've turned it down to the lowest setting where there's 100 hours worth of use. So if it should accidentally get triggered in my pack, I'm not going to have a dead battery. That's not as good as this design for protecting the switch, but it is sort of a compromise on that issue. And I think that's really it. Not a bad little choice, 120 grams versus 130 grams. Quite bright at 100 lumens. Lasts, I think, a little longer. So, it's a pretty good choice. Is it perfect? No. This Orbit has got a few advantages to it. But I think either would be a good choice. But now you can make an informed decision as opposed to just sort of, going off of, some blurry pictures on the internet, and hopefully that's helpful to you. Have a nice afternoon, folks. Thanks very much.